Samoa Joe wins the Ring of Honor TV title, Wardlow's warpath continues on MJF, and who won the Battle of the Atoms on Rampage? This and more on Fightcast Wrestling. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of Fightcast Wrestling. I am indeed your host, Tank Rodriguez. We'll get to those other stories in a moment, but first, has Sammy Guevara always been a sore loser and we're barely just seeing it now? From leaving the inner circle more times than Ryback threatens to retire, from apparently begging Tony Khan for a rematch against Scorpio Sky for the TNT title. Seems as if Sammy doesn't get his way, he's going to whine about it until he does. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Sammy wasn't a great TNT champion, having to beat Miro and Cody Rhodes to solidify himself as a true pillar of AEW. Think about it. Scorpio Sky beat Sammy clean to win the TNT Championship, and apparently to Sammy, that warrants non-sanctioned violence against American Top Team, not to mention destruction of personal property? So what? Dan Lambert called you and your girlfriend a couple of names? This is professional wrestling, not high school. And as we all know what happened this past Saturday at Battle of the Belts, Sammy had to resort to delivering a low blow to reclaim the TNT Championship. What kind of champion is that? What happened, Sammy? Did you realize you couldn't beat Scorpio Sky one-on-one, so as a last-ditch effort you decided to take the easy way out? You're better than that, and I really hope this isn't a sign of things to come for you. In my opinion, the better man didn't win at Battle of the Belts, and I look forward to seeing Scorpio Sky reclaim what's rightfully his. Moving on to our next story, Samoa Joe beat Minoru Suzuki for the Ring of Honor TV title, starting off with a 5-minute chop fest, leaving both fighters' chests looking like ground beef. However, the celebration was cut short when Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt came to give Joe his present for winning the match. The middle finger in a beautifully wrapped box. The gifts didn't end there, however, with the lights in the arena shutting off only to reveal a 7'4" monster Satnam Singh, who then began to beat down Joe, with Lethal and Dutt joining behind. And in case you don't know who Singh is, he is the first ever Indian drafted professional basketball player where he played for the Dallas Mavericks. It was no surprise to see this mammoth of a man take down Joe after his bout with Suzuki, but I am surprised is the bout with Jay Lethal. Whether it's his beef with Ring of Honor champion Jonathan Gresham or his hatred for his former mentor Samoa Joe, I feel like Lethal was biting off more than he can chew. Yes, having Singh on your side definitely more than evens out the odds for you, but what I think you're forgetting is that you're attacking these men after your hard-fought matches. You're a front row for Joe and Suzuki. Do you really want to see what a well and rested Joe can do when he gets his hands on you? Not to mention Gresham. Don't let the stature fool you. There's a reason why he's Ring of Honor champion, you're not, and I can't wait for you to find out. Is Singh someone to mess with? Absolutely not. But if there are two individuals that stand a chance, Gresham and Joe are definitely on that list. Following up on last week's story with MJF attempting to keep Wardlow out of the AEW arenas, this week was no surprise on Dynamite when Wardlow infiltrated the Lakewood Arena, this time causing MJF to lose a second time to Captain Shawn Dean via countout. Clearly, MJF is running out of ideas, using his financial wealth to hopefully put an end to Wardlow's warpath by purchasing the services of the Butcher. And yes, I'll give MJF credit, this is a very wise purchase. The Butcher is a formidable opponent for the War Dog, and I'm sure he's going to give him a run for his money. But win or lose, what is this really accomplishing? Does Wardlow simply just stop trying to get out of his contract or from getting his hands on MJF? MJF is simply just putting fuel to the fire. And until that contract is null and void, he's going to make his life very, very difficult. And finally, the AEW Championship was on the line this past week on Rampage when Hangman Adam Page faced off against Adam Cole in a Texas death match. And while that match is definitely one for the ages, with Hangman finishing off Adam Cole with the Crown of Thorns Deadeye into a table to retain the championship, there was a moment where I thought Hangman might have lost. And not from being outbested by Adam Cole, but from letting his conscience get the better of him. Hangman pulling out a barbed wire wrap chair, Page decided against his better judgment to not take a swing at former friend now rival, which turned into a low blow from Adam Cole. Now, most of that match, we saw something that we've been wanting to see from Hangman Adam Page for quite some time. Fearlessness, total disregard for his opponent's well-being, and doing whatever it takes to remain and be the best. This is the champion we knew he could be. But that one moment of weakness could have caused everything to come to an end. Everything that you worked for could have been flushed down the drain, and for what? Sympathy for someone who manipulated you for as long as you've known each other? This is still only the beginning. There are going to be opponents that are bigger and stronger. There isn't time to think about their feelings or their well-being, because as you saw, the moment you do, they will strike, friend or foe. Cowboy shit isn't just a cool saying. It's a damn mantra for life for you. The cowboy rides alone, partner. You gotta saddle up and be ready. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Fightcast Wrestling. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we go, want to announce the match of the week, which comes to us from Battle of the Belts this past Saturday versus Jonathan Gresham versus Dalton Castle. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Also, comment question of the day. Who wins in the coffin match? Darby Allin or Andrade? Thank you again for liking and subscribing. We'll see you next week, folks. Take care.